All right, let's talk about something pretty wild. We're talking about a satellite connection inside the very phone you're holding right now. It's a technology that promises to literally wipe dead zones off the map for good.
Oh, yeah, you know the feeling. We've all been there. You're out on a trail, driving down some back road, and you glance at your phone. No service. It's frustrating, right? And sometimes it can be actually dangerous. But what if, in that exact moment, your phone didn't need to find a cell tower on the ground? What if it could just look up and connect to a satellite flying overhead? Sounds a little bit like science fiction, doesn't it? Well, the crazy part is, it's not sci-fi. It is happening right now. SpaceX is launching hundreds of satellites made to talk directly to a normal smartphone. This is the direct-to-cell revolution. So, here's what we're going to break down. We'll look at how Starlink's tech actually works, the impact it's already having, the new space race it's starting, and what an always connected future really looks like. Okay, so first things first. How in the world is SpaceX actually pulling this off? It's a really cool mix of some serious tech and a super smart business plan. The whole idea is called direct-to-cell, or D2C. Now, the key phrase here, the most important part, is unmodified smartphones. This means you don't need some special clunky satellite phone. Nope, the phone you have right now can do this. You know, SpaceX has the perfect way of putting it. They call their satellites cell towers in space. And that's exactly what they are. They've basically strapped this same tech that's in a normal cell tower onto a satellite that's zipping hundreds of kilometers above our heads. And listen, they're not just dipping their toes in the water here. Starlink already has over 650 of these special D2C satellites up there. That is, by a long shot, the biggest network of its kind, and it gives them a huge head start. So the big question, how does SpaceX make money? Well, they're not trying to replace your cell phone provider. It's way smarter than that. They do the space stuff, building and launching the satellites. Then they team up with carriers like T-Mobile, who give them permission to use their airwaves. And the result for you? Service where there used to be nothing. So yeah, the bottom line is the cell companies pay SpaceX, not you. And for companies like T-Mobile or Rogers, this is a massive win. They can finally patch up all those annoying gaps in their coverage maps without having to build a ton of expensive new towers in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so the technology is cool, the business model is clever, but what does it actually mean for us? Let's talk about the real-world impact, because this is where it gets interesting. And this goes way beyond just convenience. It's a lifesaver. I mean, just read this. A real story from New Zealand. A car crash, no cell service around, but because of a direct-to-cell connection, a single text message got through. Help arrived in minutes. That's the real power here. And it's already getting better. It started with simple texts, but now you can send pictures, share your live location, and this is huge. Have a two-way text conversation with 911. But the real game changer is data. Now you can use apps like WhatsApp, Google Maps, even AllTrails while you're out hiking. So how do you actually get this service? Well, carriers are basically doing two things. A lot of them are just including it for free in their top-tier plans to get you to upgrade. Or for everyone else, you can usually add it on for something like $10 a month. But let's be really clear. This is not here to replace the 5G you get in the city. Think of it as a fill-in service. The data shows it's being used most in places you can get to, but that just don't have towers. Think national parks like Death Valley or Yellowstone. It's for all those gaps on the map. Whenever there's a breakthrough this big, you can bet SpaceX isn't going to be the only one in the game. What we're seeing is a brand new space race, and you can be sure some of the competition is getting pretty worried about Starlink's lead. This chart really lays it out. You've got SpaceX with their huge network of small satellites partnering with everybody to get basic data to any phone. Then there's AST Space Mobile, backed by giants like AT&T and Verizon. Their plan? A few absolutely massive satellites to deliver full-on 4G and 5G broadband. And of course, there's Apple, doing their own thing with Globalstar, focused just on emergency features for newer iPhones. And you can see the different philosophies right here. On one side, you have this enormous, powerful antenna from AST Space Mobile. That thing is all about raw power and speed. On the other, you have Apple's super polished, software-first approach for one very specific, very important job. Just two totally different ways of tackling the same problem. And the list keeps growing. You've got Amazon with Project Cooper and also OneWeb,
both huge satellite internet companies, and you better believe they're looking at this space. This isn't some niche little market anymore. This is the next major frontier in connecting the world.
So with all this competition and all this new tech flying around, literally, where does direct-to-cell go from here? What does this always-on future actually look like?
Well, for one thing, it's going to get a lot faster. Right now, tests show Starlink's service is around 3 megabits per second, which is totally fine for messaging and maps. But the next generation of satellites? They're talking about a potential jump to nearly 18 megabits per second. That's a 6-fold increase. But, and this is a really important but, even with those speeds, this is not going to kill the cell tower, not even close. For now, and for a long time, think of direct-to-cell as a sidekick. Its job is to fill in the gaps. For the cell carriers, it's an amazing tool. It makes their service stickier, so you're less likely to leave them, and it gives them a great new feature to get you to upgrade to their more expensive plans. So really, what we're watching here is the beginning of the end for the dead zone. The tech is here, it works, and it's getting bigger every day. Which leaves us with a pretty big question to think about. What are we going to do when every single inch of this planet is finally truly connected?